Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the October 19th Old Bridge Township Council meeting. I'll now call it to order. Please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence and for our prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As customary in this chamber, we stand for a moment of silence to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. A moment of silence, please. Our prayer, Mr. Pasquitti.
Dear Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve thee in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear thy voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right, and grant that we have a good conscience at soul at peace with thee and one another. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated.
This meeting is being held in conformance with Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to newspapers and notice of the meeting has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting in the council will be held on November 16th, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Here.
Dr. Greenberg-Belli?
Present.
Mr. Merwin? Present. Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Mr. Priscitti?
Here.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Here.
Ms. Walker?
Here.
President Sohor?
Here.
We have 8 present.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the council meeting. First business of order will be a presentation done by Council Vice President Debbie Walker. And the mayor, of course.
Whereas October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, an annual month-long campaign aimed at educating people and fighting this life-threatening disease. During National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we renew our commitment to fighting this disease, raising awareness, and supporting those affected by breast cancer. And whereas every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. An estimated 42,170 women will die from breast cancer in the United States. Breast cancer is the most common cancer in American women, and whereas thanks to the increasing knowledge in the biological and medical sciences, there is an ever-growing awareness of this deadly disease, and that learning about early detection and teaching early detection to those we love is one of the best forms of protection. And whereas those professionals and nonprofit organizations dedicated in the fight against breast cancer have made significant strides in research, advocacy, and treatment of breast cancer over the last several decades. And whereas this month, as we honor those lost to breast cancer, let us join with the loved ones who celebrate their memory and the patients who battle this disease every day, as well as our nation's advocates, medical researchers, and healthcare providers. And whereas now, therefore, I, Owen Henry Mayor, of the Township of Old Bridge, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim October 2020 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next will be our bill listing. Mrs. Walker.
Accounts payable, October 19, 2020, $11,454,118.52.
Do I have a motion? Moved by Dr. Greenberg-Belli, second by Mr. Pasquitti.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg-Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin? Yes. Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
8 ayes.
Payroll, October 9, 2020, $875,548.37.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Pischetti.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes. Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Pischetti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Zohor?
Yes.
We have 8 ayes.
Payroll overtime, October 9, 2020, $56,947.97.
Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Rizzoli, second by Mrs. Walker. Mr. Shaw, can we have a breakdown, please?
Yes, Council President, thank you. As Councilwoman Walker indicated, total overtime for this pay period was $56,947.97. There were some special events in other department. There was a drive-in movie for recreation department. Arena had an ice painting. They were getting ready, the COVID clean ready for hockey and Special Olympics. In buildings and grounds, we had a emergency water leak in court and police locker room. For police department, the total overtime for sworn officer was $44,004.72. Deduct grant, $17,982.85. Deduct ETO, $9,245.33. The net overtime in police department was $16,776.54, representing 609.25 man and woman hours. The pandemic-related overtime during this pay period was $1,349.44. One officer was injured on duty.
And thank you, Mr. Shaw.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Pischetti?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Zohor?
Yes.
We have 8 ayes.
That concludes the bill list.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Walker. Next will be public hearings and ordinances for second reading. H1, ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge, amending the code of the Township of Old Bridge, specifically Chapter 169, festivals, mass gatherings. I'm going to open it to the public. First, I'd like to open it up to the public. Okay, no worries, I'll.
Oh, you guys need to keep.
Okay. So she can check. That's unusual for us.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, can we try testing yet? Like Debbie said, 1, 2, 3?
How does it sound at home now?
Can you hear us? Yeah, we'll open it up to the public for the hearing, and then if anyone wants to call in and let us know the status, if you can't hear the program, please let us know. Thank you. We'll see if anyone calls in to tell
Right.
us what's going on.
In order to call in or
Right.
to make a comment during our public comment section, the phone number is on your screen. The call-in number is 929-205-6099, and our Zoom ID is 886-517-70833. Once you're in, you can raise your hand by pressing *9, or you can press Option or Alt-Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand option in your app or computer programming, and we'll give you a few minutes to try to call in or raise your hand. So again, if you're on your phone and you'd like to make a comment, you can press *9. From your computer, you can press Option or Alt-Y, or choose raise hand in a computer app or your phone app.
Eric said that his wife said the YouTube sounds fine. Okay, we'll continue on very shortly. We just want to see if we can remedy this issue with being able to hear the programming on Channel 15. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you have to just repeat everything.
Okay.
Yeah, for people that can't hear, maybe they should try switching to YouTube.
If you'd like to make a public comment, you can call in through the call-in number for Zoom, which is 929-205-6099. Or you can use the link on our Facebook page. Once you're there, you can use our Zoom ID, which is 886-5177-0833. Once logged in, you're able to raise your hand by pressing *9, or you can press Option or Alt-Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand option on your phone app or computer app. We do have somebody who's raising their hand. Council President, we do have someone ready to make public comment on this
Okay.
ordinance. Would you like to?
Do we know it's for the ordinance or just telling us maybe what's going on?
But
That's
we could-
fine.
Oh, we could, whichever, their hand is raised.
Yeah, I would see maybe maybe they have some kind of a comment on what, it sounds like from the public channel.
Oh, yeah. I'm asking to unmute the person who's raised their hand. Last digits of your phone number are 92. You just have to press *9 in order to unmute as I ask you to unmute.
Hello, President Sohor?
Yes?
Hi, Nina Jochnos here. So you're probably getting nobody responding to you because we can't hear what it is you guys are actually saying. It's almost unintelligible. The sound is so dampened down.
Yeah, we're working on that. We have
Okay,
Mary.
So I don't even know what you wanted public comment for at this time.
Okay.
I can only say that we don't understand what is going on in the council meeting, and since there's no live feed, just live sound, You can't even try to read lips.
The meeting is being broadcast on YouTube and our, I believe Facebook as well as OB15. Are you having difficulty hearing us through Zoom, or are you having difficulty hearing us on?
I'm on Zoom. I couldn't get into the YouTube. There was no YouTube link listed in Old Bridge, but if I'm like most of anybody else in the general public, we can't hear the meeting.
The link is
We can't really
live.
hear anything that's going on.
Okay, we're gonna attempt to remedy this if you can give us just a few minutes.
Of course, of course. We look forward to it. You guys stay safe and wear your masks. Thank you.
Does she need us to speak?
So for those who are having trouble getting on, if you go just to YouTube and you type in Old Bridge, look for the official Old Bridge Township page. From there, you will see the October 19th meeting. From there, you could list it and it'll go live. So if you are having trouble, I understand that there might be some trouble with the television, but YouTube is working, it is coming in clear, so you can go through that method. Just go to any internet browser, go to the Old Bridge Facebook page as well, and you could find all of it there. So we do apologize, but those are two other avenues as well that you could do.
Council President? There seems to be some issue with Cablevision in broadcasting. The sound is going, you can hear it, and what I'm asking everybody is to slow down when you speak, because when you slow down, there's a static. And we're going to investigate further, but in order to public can hear that, we also have now live feed on well, it's on YouTube as well. So we're doing a multiple social media live feed on Facebook and YouTube right now. So people should be able to hear on one of those options.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will continue.
Did we tell them to go?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yes. Facebook will automatically notify people once the live feed starts. So all those people that are registered with the township and are live, they'll be able to get a notice that is live on Facebook.
Okay. All right, so we're going to try to proceed and see how we do. I will go slowly, and hopefully we'll be able to have the public be engaged. Okay, so the first one, as I said, public hearings and ordinances for second reading. H1, ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge, amending the code of the Township of Old Bridge, specifically Chapter 169, festivals, mass gatherings. We'll open it to the public once again, and if there's anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance for second reading, now would be the time to call in.
Councilwoman, I just got further request that when you were speaking, try to stay away, keep a little distance from microphone.
Gotcha.
Don't get too close.
Okay,
When you get close, it gets more staticky.
okay, gotcha.
To make a public comment on this ordinance, you can call in to number 929-205-6099. The Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. Once you're into our Zoom conference, you can press *9 from your phone, Option or Alt-Y, raise hand from your computer or app. We do have a person who's raising their hand. I have asked phone number with the last number is 92 to unmute themselves. You can speak.
Hi, Nina again. I just went through your live streaming in YouTube, and it's frozen. I have 5G network. I stream all day long with work. There's something wrong with the streaming going on your platform from the township's end. Just so you know, I heard Councilman Eric speak of it, and I went there too, and I was on Zoom. There's no sound, or barely any sound. I don't have a TV, so I can't go to Old Bridge TV. And I went to YouTube Live, and your
Madam Chairperson.
feed is not going correctly.
Can you try
Now, I
Facebook?
don't know the law.
Can you try Facebook?
And don't talk about it if you don't know it.
I was on Facebook. Hamacho, I actually pulled it up through Facebook. So I started on Facebook, which is where you go, and then and then from there was a Zoom link. So I went right to the Zoom link. Not that I like Zoom very much, but I did anyway. I'll try it right now. It says YouTube, and I'm back on the Zoom link for the YouTube link.
Madam
It's the
Chairperson.
same one I was on just minutes ago, and there's nothing there. It's a blank
Okay.
screen.
All right. Madam Chairperson, can we take a
switching to-
5-minute technical recess? All right, and maybe we can straighten it out. If we can't, legal can make a determination, and we'll go from there.
Okay, do
I'm sorry,
I,
Eric, please speak into the microphone, because I know it's your voice, but I couldn't hear you.
Mr. Merwin has requested.
Hamacho?
Mr. Merwin has requested that we take a short recess for technicality. So
is everyone, council, in
I
agreement to
think that
take
would
a
be
5-minute?
appropriate. I don't know, I'm not.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take 5,
okay.
all right? Okay, all right, we're going to try to resume the meeting now. We apologize for the time that it's taken. Unfortunately, we've had several technical difficulty this evening, but now we are going to continue on with the meeting, and we are discussing the ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge, amending the code of the Township of Old Bridge, specifically Chapter 169, Festivals, Mass Gatherings.
If the public would like to make comment during this section, they can call into our Zoom at 929-205-6099. The Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. The information is also posted on your screens. Once you're in the session, you can press *9, Option or Alt-Y to raise your hand, or choose the raise hand option in your app or computer app. Do you want me to repeat it again, just in case? I just don't have anybody. All right. I'll repeat the information for anybody who may have missed it. The call-in number for Zoom is 929-205-6099. Our Zoom ID number is 886-5177-0833. Once you've entered the session, you can press *9 from your phone, Option or Alt-Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand option in your computer or phone app. And this is for the public hearing on our ordinance. There's people in the session and nobody raised their hand.
Seeing that there's no one who has called in for the ordinance for second reading, I'll now go to the council members if anyone has any question or comment on this ordinance. Seeing no hands, I will ask for a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Rizzoli, second by Mrs. Walker.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
President, we have 8 ayes.
Next will be H2, an ordinance for the Township of Old Bridge, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, Chapter 5, Article 3, entitled Council, Section 5-21, entitled Order of Business Agenda. We'll now open it up to the public. If there's anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance, now would be the time to call in.
Again, in order to make public comment, you can enter our Zoom conference call. The call-in number is 929-205-6099. Our Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. Upon entering our Zoom conference, you can press *9 from your phone, Option or Alt-Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand option in your computer or phone app. If you'd like to raise your hand in Zoom, you can press *9 from your phone, Option or Alt-Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand app in your phone or computer app to make a public comment on our hearing H2. There are no raised hands currently, President.
Okay, then we'll close the public portion. I'll go to council. Anyone for a council comment? Mr. Merwin?
Yes. I'm surprised that no one called in on this. It could be that there could be something wrong. This is taking the people's voice away from them that we have enjoyed for many years. Not only taking a portion of their time away, we're taking 5 minutes of their time. They had the beginning and then they had the end of the meeting. And I understand why we're going through this, but I think our thin skins should be able to get beyond that. And for that reason, I'll be voting no on this ordinance. The public should be heard. I'm quite surprised that the people that are supporting it are supporting it, but, that'll be it.
Are you through? Thank you. Anyone else from council? Mr. De Palma?
So, over the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to solicit as much feedback as possible on this. So the folks that I have spoken to, and it has to be at least a dozen or so plus folks, have all been okay with this. I think that folks are okay with being able to speak on anything in one section, as long as they're able to speak on the other pieces as well. So obviously, when we have ordinance for second reading, you do have the opportunity to call in and speak, and everyone was okay with that. I think, like we've been saying the entire time, this could be a trial run as we look to go forward. Things can change. We can go back to this should we solicit more feedback from the residents. But I think at this point, the folks that I have spoken to, they're okay with this. So this has been the feedback that I've received from everyone I've asked.
Thank you. The other councilman, Mr. Murphy?
It seems that since we've perked the microphones down to limit static, we're now not being picked up on Zoom. So I apologize if we could repeat the comments to be a little bit louder, because I was just notified that it's not coming, it's very hard to hear everyone with as loud as we're speaking.
We'll try to. Heard that, right? To a little more with the mic.
Talk louder? Yes, I just found out recently that the consent agenda will be before, the people will be able to speak before the consent agenda, so therefore they will have some say in it. And that was one of my concerns that I did last week, and that's about all I have, so I'm going to be voting yes.
Okay, I think I'd like to turn it over to, so that she can give us also insight from the clerk's office.
So what the ordinance does is it does limit the amount of times we have public comment. However, it doesn't limit what the public can speak on. The public will still be granted option to speak on any public hearing individually. They will also be able to speak on the matters on the consent agenda separately, and then the public comment allows them to speak on any general matter. So the limitation is only to general matter comments. The public would still have input and say over any items of business the council is hearing that are open to public input at that time. Is that clear for?
Does anyone have any questions for her?
Thank you,
Council?
thank you, Clerk,
Good.
Township Clerk.
Mr. Shaw, do you have anything to add?
I think Gabriella summons the recommendation of administrations, particularly myself, in this matter. I think that over the years, I have attended pretty much every meeting that happens in this council chambers for the last 27 years. And I think that if you look at the recent attempt of the administration is pretty much taking care of public concerns. I don't think that we had the amount of concern expressed here. The purpose of an earlier public hearing was, a public participation was to allow public to express the issues that concerns them on their personal level, complaints or anything. but they don't have to sit until the end of the meeting. That was the intent. And recent, I don't think that really, that poor participation is about that lately. So I think it's right thing for council to consider the changing. And again, as indicated, if this purpose doesn't fulfill the need of the public, we can certainly change it again back to that. It's always good to try a different approach. We've been doing this for the last 10 years, and then we had some issues with it where our business was not being able to take place because of the amount of time spent on public participation on an issue. Really, sometimes I would say not even the township residents or their concern. That was the intent, to address their concern. It wasn't being addressed their concern. So I think that I would recommend council to move forward with this, and certainly if we see that it's not suffice need of the citizen, then we'll certainly recommend changing back on it or take a different approach.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes, so I want to make this clear so everyone understands. Freedom of speech is very important, and we all embrace that. And we want to hear your concerns. But the format of the agenda, the council meeting, addresses that anyone can speak on any agenda item. You have a public portion there. You have a public portion with any second ordinance. And then at the end of the meeting, you will have a portion that you could speak on any topic, even if it wasn't, presented on the agenda.
It's just before the consent agenda time.
Right.
Not at the end. So we're giving
For the
them
consent
early
agenda.
enough time so they don't have to wait until our discussion or other items if they don't want to sit in the meeting after expressing their concern.
Yes, and then I just want to make clear, like, any problem that people have, we are all accessible, that everyone has our phone numbers individually, whether you're a ward council representative or at large. That not only that you have our phone numbers, you have our emails. And I know this administration personally is very responsive and very receptive to any concern that you have. So I think everyone is on board that we want to solve your problems, hear your concerns, and solve your problems. But we have to get on with the business of the town. And so this new format that was presented, I think will allow that to be accomplished and also meet the needs of the residents. And so I just want to make that clear. No one is saying that the residents aren't going to be heard and their questions aren't going to be addressed and they don't have time to speak. That is the furthest from the truth. And so this is to keep order and keep the meeting flowing. So I think it would be a good idea. And as you know, many times that we have presented and made changes to the public portion. But in comparison to other towns and the information that was presented by our clerk and by the attorney, I think this is a good process and a good way to go. So I think it's, certainly worth a try, and that I think it's will be valuable and helpful to the residents also. Thank you.
Okay, I'll close this also just by saying that I think we're trying to attain a balance here between listening to the public and conducting our business as a township. So I do also feel that it's worth consideration, and we see how we progress with it. And as was said before, reiterate, we can make changes again. This is just something that we're trying to, something new. So I'll ask, can I have a motion? Second. Moved by Mr. Rizzoli, second by Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
No.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
No.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
We have 6 ayes, 2 noes, and 1 absent.
Next will be preliminary public comments to council, subject to the following conditions and restrictions. During the preliminary public portion of the meeting, Any person may address the township on any subject matters for a maximum period of 5 minutes. Any such person, comments during the preliminary public comment portion of the meeting shall not encompass second reading ordinances, nor any other matter for which comment or a public hearing is to occur at the meeting. Now will be the opportunity for you to call in for your public comments.
In order to call into our Zoom conference, you can use the phone number 929-205-6099. Our Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. Once you're in a session, you can press star 9 from your phone, Option or Alt Y from your computer, or choose the option for raise hand in your computer or phone app. If you'd like to make a comment, please raise your hand. Nina keeps me. In order to raise your hand, please press star 9 from your phone, Option or Alt Y from your computer, or choose the raise hand option in your phone or computer app. There are 4 people who are listed as attending the meeting, and just nobody's. I am talking to them. It's all through. That's a. I see a request from Nina to speak. I've asked you to unmute. You're unmuted.
Hi. Good evening. Hi, Nina Joknowitz, 203 West Greystone Road. I have to say that I'm shocked that 7 people, although I would like to say congratulations, Tony Pischetti, Councilman Pischetti. I applaud you for saying no to this. There is a rare time that this council is distracted by the exceptionally large audience speaking. As a matter of fact, I think that in the last, 6 council meetings, perhaps I was one of the only people who ever spoke. So I can't believe you need to cut it down to a single moment, because at some point, the elderly population in this town is going to want to speak up, and they don't want to sit around till 11 o'clock at night before they can actually say something in the public portion. So I think it's absolutely deplorable that this council is doing this at this time. And I applaud Tony Pischetti and Dave Merwin for saying no, because they know what it's truly about, being free and having a democratically elected community that actually allows the public to speak. It's deplorable. You should be shameful. It's shameful that you're doing this. Shameful. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so Camacho, how many minutes in the last 6 months have local people affected? How many minutes of the meeting has been affected by local people calling in, like myself. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I think that this last 12 months, there's only been 3 meetings where I saw a very large population of people standing up and speaking up. Just 3 meetings back in February and January. That was it. Other than that, there's been barely a trickle. So it's disgusting that you're doing this. You want to say that it's to help streamline your meetings? That's baloney. Everybody knows it. It's baloney. Thank you.
Ms. Jankowicz, does that conclude your comments?
That concludes my comments, at least at this public portion of the meeting. Later I'll speak again. I'm sure you'll be entertained.
Okay. If there's anyone else who'd like to make a comment, please raise your hand. President, there's been no other entries or raised hands.
Okay, so then seeing there's no one else waiting, we will close the public portion. Next, we'll go to council comments.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes, so couple things. So today was the second cohort, or the second level for the schools going back. So right now, within our township, we have the self-contained special ed as well as K through 3 back in school. So good luck to all those students going back. My daughter started today, so she was very happy to finally see her teacher in person, face-to-face. So welcome the students back. This is a temporary blip. Hopefully everyone will be back in school altogether soon enough. Also, I just wanted to thank the rec department for the drive-in movies. They went over very, very well. A lot of great feedback. The other thing that I just wanted to talk about with the rec department is there's been some chatter that I've seen, and some people have said, well, we don't have a lot of things that our township does. I think that's just a lack of looking at what we have. I mean, I implore everyone to get out and look at the township site, look at all the opportunities that rec has out there. Obviously, with the pandemic going on, some things are a little bit delayed, whether that's the ice skating rink being delayed, and I know that they're working on that. But dance has started for the young folks, and there's a number of different things. So for everyone who's looking for things that are going on through the town, that our township sponsors, please make sure you look at on the rec site. You could sign up directly on there. Everything is done online. You don't have to come up to the town. So thank you guys again. Rec did a fabulous job. I know the last one you had to delay it a day due to the wind, but great job. So today, I don't know if many folks were aware, but there was a charitable walk from Washington, D.C. to Old Bridge that ended today. So the charity was the Jar of Hope. So there was a 260-mile walk from Washington, D.C. to Old Bridge that started sometime last week and ended today at Lombardi Field. And I just wanted to make sure that we highlighted that, because it is something that ended in our town. All-American Ford was integral part of that as a sponsor. The charity itself is bringing awareness and raising funds for research into Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So DMD affects about 300,000 young boys worldwide. Right now there is no cure. They're working on various treatments for it. But I think it was an absolute great event that occurred, and these folks walked from Washington. They were camping out. If you follow them on Facebook and social media, it was Team Jamesy. Every day I was looking at the updates. I think it's an absolute fabulous thing that they've done. Sorry, I forgot the T-shirt that I bought to support it today. That is at home, but I will say I was extremely happy to contribute to such a great charity, and I applaud all the folks that participated. So, I do thank you all for doing that. I think it's a great cause. It's things like that makes this town great. Things that end here, whether it's those events, we have the Relay for Life coming up, we have a lot of the other different events. These are great things that I think we really need to highlight through this town so folks see everything that happens. From obviously we had a lot of technical difficulties today, Cablevision. So, Mr. Shaw, just the other day I was reading an article, Jackson Township has filed a complaint against Altice with the Board of Public Utilities in regards to the service the company is providing or not really providing to its customers. And I think that we should, as a township, look into that, look into what they're doing, because if it is something that is going to help our residents, I think it's a good thing to look at. I'm not exactly sure 100%. I couldn't find too much information over the last day of what Jackson did. But if we can look into that, if there's something that we can put a complaint in to the Board of Utilities, I think it would,
Sure, Councilman, we'll follow up and find out what exactly the complaint filed by Jackson Township.
Okay, thank you. And we have 2 weeks left for voting, so I know we're probably a broken record here talking about it. So as a reminder, there will be no in-person voting for the vast majority of us. So your options this year, you have everyone received a vote by mail ballot. So please utilize that ballot, the ways that you can return that. We have a drop box in the front of the municipality that has been getting picked up on a very regular basis, if not daily. Actually walking into council today, I saw 2 people dropping off their ballots. So I think that's an excellent way to do so. You can drop it directly to the Board of Elections. You can obviously send it through mail. You could also show up at the polling place. You could vote provisionally. So they will actually give you a provisional ballot that you could fill out. You could drop off your mail-in ballot there. And if you do have a specific handicap, you will be able to vote by machine, but that is few and far between. The folks that I've spoken with have said, well, I have a handicap, but it's not a qualified handicap. So if you believe that you have a qualified handicap, look at the Board of Elections site. Give them a call if you have any questions. But for the vast majority of us, we will be using the mail-in ballot that we will receive through the mail. So I implore everyone, get out, start sending them out now. Better sooner than later. You don't want to wait till the last day to get it out. So please send your mail. Make sure your vote counts and your voices are heard. Other than that, the next time we see everybody will be after Halloween. So all the kids that'll be trick-or-treating with the parents, please be safe. Social distance as much as you can. Most of us will be wearing masks, so I think that's a good thing for Halloween. But please, everyone enjoy Halloween. And again, for the children going back to school, good luck. Enjoy your time with your teachers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Palma.
Dr. Greenberg-Bello?
Yes, thank you. At this time, there are a lot of people in need, and especially with the holidays coming. So I always want to emphasize that if you're able, please donate to the food bank. And then if you need assistance, the food bank is here to help you. And also, we're so fortunate to have Calvary Church that as always steps forward and meets the needs of the community also. And so anyone struggling during this time, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, the holidays, please also, besides our food bank, reach out to the Calvary Church, their food bank, by calling 732-679-4837. Also, during this difficult time, I think it is amazing when we hear the things that are still active and going on in this town. We haven't been quiet. We've been there trying to help people. And when you think of the fundraising that goes on, just so Mr. De Palma explained about the charity, I want to emphasize that the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, under the direction of Steve Mamakis, the mayor and the business administrator, put on a job fair. And it was at the Grand Marquis, and there were more than 250 cars that came. And that just emphasized that people are hurting. I'm very fortunate that I get to work. And I work every day, very long hours, and unfortunately, that's why I couldn't be at some of the events that go on in town that I would like to. But when I go to work, I think, how sad for all the people that want to work, and literally their job was taken away from them. And they have, families that they have to take care of also. They have bills that have to be met. But yet they were told they couldn't work. That's a very dramatic jolt to a family when they don't have, when you're used to a steady stream of income coming in and you're paying your bills. And then you lose your job. And it's been sad when I've gone around town. Yes, there have been new businesses come in, but if you see the businesses that are closing, that aren't coming back, for not any fault of their own. So this job fair was quite an effort that you put forward to really address the needs of the community. And I want to thank you for taking the time and the effort to do that. And for the Grand Marquis for stepping up and let us use their facility. And that's what a community is. Everyone comes together, and sometimes you may think you're not making a difference, and it's really the small things. It's the effort and the time that you put into it. And just taking the time to emphasize that although you, like I said, I may be working, and I always try to help other people, but the township as a whole has put a lot of programs together to reach out. We care about your health and your well-being, that you were able, that all of us together, that we'll get through this. And hopefully we'll be stronger and better at the end of it, because this was really something that was just devastating, not only to our community, but the entire world. And it was totally unnecessary, and it's disgusting. And really, people have to be held accountable for this, but it's very painful what's going on. So just as Mr. De Palma said, I cannot emphasize enough. I speak to a lot of people in town. A lot of people reach out to me. They call me regularly when I meet them, whether it's in the grocery store, the parks. I want to vote. I want to go and vote at the voting machines. I want to go to the polls. I cannot stress enough, and we've tried at every meeting, and it's probably like wore a lot of people out that hear it. You cannot vote by machine. You have to use a vote by mail ballot. There's several things you can do with it. As I said, the safest thing is we have a drop box right in front of our municipal complex. It has cameras on it. It's being watched by the police department. It is safe. You can do it there. You can drop it at 11 Kennedy Boulevard, but you cannot vote at the polls as much as you want to and everyone else wants to. Whether we agree or disagree, this shouldn't have happened. You should have been able to vote at the polls, but this is the reality of an executive order from the governor of this state. No matter how much confusion it is going to bring, I urge everyone, please, please send in your ballots, mail them, drop box, or deliver them. But please vote. Your vote is very important, and you matter, and your vote matters. Thank you.
Mr. Merwin?
Nothing.
Mr. Murphy?
Nothing.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes, thank you. We are faced with a very important election in the next few weeks. We'll be voting not only for a president, but also the entire House of Representatives and 1/3 of the U.S. Senate. During World War II, Normandy, France, thousands of Americans were killed on D-Day fighting against the socialists of Germany, fighting to preserve our liberty and freedoms. These freedoms that we may be taking for granted today can be quickly removed in a single election. For example, look at Venezuela, once one of the wealthiest countries in the world, is today a slum of a poor and impoverished people led by socialists. Only the elites are wealthy in Venezuela today. Results of the Democrat socialist policies are becoming more and more evident and obvious. The difference between the Republican and Democrat policies could not be any clearer. Democrat policies, in example, are defunding the police, removing ICE agents, establishing sanctuary cities, allowing rioters to go unpunished, killing of developed babies in the womb, removing our Second Amendment rights. This election is about who will lead our country, the elite who support the ending of life, or the working class like you and me who support life. Please think critically. Look up the platforms of these parties, and please vote where your personal beliefs land. Notice the local and national news media, which are owned by the wealthy elite, have a globalist agenda. They are lying to us and are censoring the news. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me. I will provide you examples. Thank you.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Thank you. I just want to mention that the mayor and I, along with Matt Mercuro, we attended the Say With South of the League trophy ceremony this evening, and it was a great event. Kudos to the board, the coaches, the parents, the children. They were able to have a season following the CDC guidelines. I think kids were so happy to accept their trophies. It was great to be there and to participate in. And I just want to wish the best to the children who are recovering from some injuries that happened during their recent tournaments. You know, get well soon, and thank you. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Ms. Walker?
Nothing.
President Sohor?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to add, if you go to our website, there has been some changes and improvements, and there's so much available as to what's going on in town, recreation. Some of the things are new and different because of this situation we're in with COVID. So please participate and look, because there's a lot going on that you can have your children, enjoy. It's somewhat different way, but I really think we offer a lot for our young people, and as well as our senior citizens. So please take advantage and, enjoy everything. Everyone have a very safe and happy Halloween. Next will be report of the clerk.
I have no report tonight, President.
Thank you. Report of the attorney.
No report this evening, Council President.
Thank you. Administrative report, Mr. Shah.
Thank you, Council President. The administrative report for October 19, 2020. Before I go into the report, I want to apologize to the council and to the public about the problem with our sound system and TV, and I promise that we'll be working on, starting tomorrow, to fix the issues. If I need to do some emergency contact over, I will, and bring it to the council, but we'll take care of it. And the other thing I want to bring it to people's attention, that New Jersey has a mail-in ballot tracking system. You can go online, register, and track your ballot. I did that. I put my ballot in the ballot box outside, and now when I track it, has reached to the election board. So my vote is going to count. So it's important that anyone will be putting the link to the site to registration on Facebook and our website tomorrow. Back to administrative report. Item number 1, Old Bridge Township launched a new website on Tuesday, October 13th, with the updated features and designs. The new website is ADA compliant and it's multilingual. Its mobile view is also improved. Please visit oldbridge.com to view the new site. Item number 2, bond anticipation note sale was held on Tuesday, October 13th. The Department of Finance received 6 bids for the sale of $7 million bond anticipation notes scheduled to mature on October 21st, 2021. The winning bid from BNY Mellon Capital Market has a net interest cost of 0.4207%. Item number 3, Middlesex County Office of Career Opportunity now, along with Mayor's Office of Economic Development, sponsored a drive-through job fair this past Thursday, October 15th. The event was hosted by Grand Marquis on Route 9 South in Old Bridge. Over 250 cars were greeted by Mayor Henry and a county representative who were accepting resume and handing out packets containing information from over 100 local and statewide businesses that are offering employment opportunities. If you were not able to attend and would like to get further information, please call Mayor's Office of Economic Development at 732-721-5600, extension 7920. Item number 4, Planning Department is in collaboration with the Building and Zoning along with the Fire Bureau has prepared guidelines for outdoor dining during the winter months. This information was emailed to all the businesses that have been approved for temporary outdoor dining permit. To review the guideline, please visit oldbridge.com/news. Item number 5, fall lip collection begins the week of October 26, 2020 in Ward 1, 2, 3, and 4. Collection in Ward 5 and 6 will begin the week of November 2nd. Leaves must be placed only in paper leaf bags. Plastic bags will not be picked up. For the full schedule, please visit oldbridge.com/recycling. Item number 6, the final brush collection pickup for the year will be Monday, October 26. Bundle must be tied up and placed at the curb the night before. Please contact the recycling department by 2 p.m. on Friday to be on Monday's list at extension 6107 or email recycling@oldbridge.com. Item number 7, Township Paper Shred events will be held on Friday, October 30th at Cheesequake Village from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., Plaza Grand at 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., Township Recycling Center 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. For additional information, please visit oldbridge.com/recycling or call extension 6107. Item number 8, pumpkin carving contest and display sponsored by Friendlies and hosted by Department of Parks and Recreation along with Silver Lining will be accepting decorated pumpkins on Thursday, October 29th between the hours of 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Old Bridge Civic Center. All pumpkins will be then placed on display Friday, October 30th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Old Bridge Municipal Complex. Donation of non-perishable food items for the Old Bridge Food Bank will be accepted and greatly appreciated. Rain date is Saturday, October 31st. For additional information, please visit oldbridge.com/recreation. Item number 9, property tax reimbursement, called Senior Freeze. Deadline to file the 2019 PTR form with the State of New Jersey must be postmarked by November 2nd, 2020. For additional information, residents should contact the State New Jersey Division of Taxation at 1-800-882-6597. Again, the number is 1-800-882-6597, or Old Bridge Township Division of Tax Collection at extension 2999. Item number 10, fourth quarter tax payment must be paid by November 10, 2020. All payments received thereafter will accrue interest back to the statutory due date of November 1st, 2020. Item number 11, the Township Division of Tax Collection located in Thomas J. English Administration Building will be open Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. for the fourth quarter tax collection period. Payments made in cash must be brought to the tax window. Payments made by check may be placed in the drop box located inside the front door of the building. Other options to make payments include signing up for automatic withdrawal with the tax collection office, mailing payments to 1 Old Bridge Plaza, Old Bridge, New Jersey 08857, or making a payment online at oldbridge.com. I strongly recommend people use the online payments option we have for citizens. For additional information, please call extension 2999. Item number 12, the equipment for the new playground at Veterans Park is slated to be delivered mid-November. Once the equipment is delivered, installation will begin immediately weather permitting. Item number 13, best practice inventory instituted by New Jersey State require all municipalities to respond annually to the best practice questionnaires issued by the Division of Local Government Services. The stated final payment is subject to completion of the survey. The 2020 inventory requires response to 56 questions that includes 20 core competency, 9 best practices, and 27 unscored survey questions. In order to receive full state aid, municipality must have minimum score of 16. The Township of Old Bridge will receive full aid with a score of 24 out of 24. Thank you. I just want to add one more thing, Council President, in terms of the time public participations. It's going to be before the consent agenda, and public will no longer require to come in before the meeting and put their name on the list. So that's a benefit to public, that they don't have to rush in here and put their name on the registrations. They will be able to speak right after we finish the presentations and public hearings.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions, Mr. Rizzoli?
Yeah, I just want to comment about the senior freeze. You know, this council was at the forefront in the state of New Jersey with the resolution demanding that it was reinstated, the homestead rebate, which would have negatively affected the senior freeze. Governor Murphy was going to stop the program while increasing taxpayer dollars for sanctuary state programs. Thanks to the Home News Tribune, which ran a front-page story, also we got our local legislators, especially our local senator who wasn't doing anything about it, to take action along with other members of Trenton. So I'm really happy that the seniors are getting their freeze back, which they've earned throughout their lives and should never have been threatened by the governor. And also, this is what it's all about with the council, defending people who can't defend themselves. And I'm real proud that the council stood behind the resolution on this matter. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else have a comment or a question? No one? Okay, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Murphy.
Yes, Mr. Macho, I just want to thank Matt and Kyle for taking care of the parks, at Veterans Parks with the playground. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's it.
Anyone else? Okay. Seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion. Moved by Mr.
Second.
Rizzoli, second by Dr. Greenberg. Belli?
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Zohor?
Yes.
President, we have 8 ayes.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw, for your report. Next will be the consent agenda. We will ask the public, we'll bring it out to the public. I'll take first a motion and a second for it. We'll bring it out to the public, and then we'll bring it back for separation. Okay. Moved by Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Mr. Rizzoli.
If any member of the public would like to make a comment on our consent agenda, please call into our Zoom via the phone number 929-205-6099. The Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. If you'd like to make a comment on the consent agenda, please raise your hand by pressing *9, Option or Alt-Y, the raise hand option in your computer app or your phone app. We'll unmute you as you come forward. I do. I have one. please identify yourself for the record, please?
Hello?
Hello? Hello, Nina, can you please identify yourself for the record? Ms. Jankowicz?
Hello?
Nina, you're unmuted. Would you please identify yourself for the record?
Hello?
Nina, can you hear us?
Yes, finally I can. Yes, thank you very much. My name's Nina Joknowitz. I live on West Greystone Road. Most people on the council know me, whether they love me or they hate me. It's okay. I come to the council tonight to set it straight on a complete bunch of misstatements by Councilwoman Rizzoli with regard to myself, fellow Democrats, and the people he is accused of.
Nina, I'm sorry, this is on our consent agenda. Do you have any comments on the consent agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was on the open space.
This is just the consent agenda items. Do you have any comments on consent
Oh,
agenda?
no, I don't. I just want to speak on the open
Okay,
space.
so I'm going to mute you until that opens
By
up
the
again.
way, let me just...
Does anyone have a comment that they'd like to make on the consent agenda items only? Please raise your hand. There's no other raised hands, President.
Okay, so then we'll close the public portion for the consent agenda and now go to the council for separations. Does anyone need a separation? Mr. Rizzoli would like to separate C9. Anyone else on this side?
Yes.
Over here, anyone? No? Anybody? No? Okay, Mr. Merwin?
C4 and C5, just for clarification.
Okay, C4, C5. I'll take a vote now on the rest of the balance. We already had a motion and a second for the balance, so.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Beller?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
We have 8 ayes.
Okay, next will be C4, Mr. Merwin.
Yeah, C4 and C5, if you can, the administration, just explain that.
Yes, Council President, if I may, the C4 and C5 is the permitted use of reverse auction for purchase of energy for the municipal building and all its facility. Basically, the council is authorizing us through EMAX, and I think this is about 5th or 6th years we're doing with EMAX, and we have saved, we have got pretty good rate with going through this route, where the energy supplier will bid on the rate, and basically they online, and then the lowest bidder will be awarded the contract. Now, there is a strike rate that we authorize at the bottom sections, 0.077, and for different periods, the rate. And once, if that, we achieve that or below, then I will be approving the auction price. Okay?
Yeah, no, I just wanted it to be.
I just want to compliment you for doing this and really the cost savings that it's brought to the town. I don't think a lot of people realize that, and I appreciate the efforts in doing this and, always looking for ways to save the town money, especially when it's getting crippled right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's why I separated it.
All right, anyone else? Seeing no hands, I'll take a motion for
I'll move both
C4.
of them
Can we do them together?
together, right?
Yes, you
Oh.
can move both together.
All right, so a motion you made for C4 and for
for C5,
C5.
yeah.
Second, Dr. Greenberg Bell, I seconded. Mr. Merwin made the motion.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Beller?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
We have 8 ayes.
Next will be C9, Mr. Rizzoli.
Yeah, I just want to say, any type of grant that addresses alcoholism and drug abuse is a great thing for the municipality. So my compliments to the administration. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? I need a motion.
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Murphy, second by Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. De Palma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
Yes.
President Sohor?
Yes.
8 ayes.
That concludes the consent agenda. We will now go on to public comments on any subject matter. Now would be the time for the public to call in for any comments at this public session.
This is the general comment section. If you'd like to make a comment, please call in through Zoom. The number is 929-205-6099. Your Zoom ID is 886-5177-0833. Once you're in a session, you can raise your hand by pressing *9, or from your Mac or PC, you can press Option or Alt-Y, or in the phone app or computer app, you can choose the raise hand option. We do have someone for public comment. Nina, I've asked you to unmute yourself.
I feel like I'm the only person who comes to your meetings besides, well, hello?
Hi, we're listening. Please identify yourself for the record.
Hello?
Nina, please identify yourself for the record.
My name is Nina Jochnowitz. By the way, Mark, can you pronounce my name Jochnowitz instead of Joshnowitz? Anyway, I come to the meeting tonight to set the council straight on a number of complete misstatements by Councilwoman Rizzoli with regard to myself, fellow Democrats, and the people he is accused of being paid plants at the last council meeting, and finally a little bit about Mr. Rizzoli himself. First, as anybody knows, committee people here in New Jersey are elected to the public position by local people in their town. I happen to be one of them, and I have been for almost 16 years. Oh my God. So it is a lie stated by Mr. Rizzoli that I'm not already elected, because I am. And what a dumb challenge to attempt to goat me into such a challenge to run for council. Second, up until a year and a half ago, Mr. Rizzoli, or Councilwoman Rizzoli, was a registered Democrat. Oh my God, he was a registered Democrat. And he even chaired the local Democratic committee. Of course, it was all make-believe. We all knew it was. It was a play for him to get elected to a council position. But for those who don't believe it, there are pictures of him all over the township with Frank Ballone and even Governor Murphy. This, along with every elected person, he could actually get his arms around. Of course, this was all to get the position he holds now, and, well, let's hope he doesn't get the next position, but yes, we do know he's running again. So as we all know, Rizzoli, Councilwoman Rizzoli, is just another flip-flop, saying whatever he thinks that you people want to hear so he can get into office, whatever that position is. Councilman Rizzoli, you may attempt to act as though you're Mr. Aldridge, but it was only a few short years ago that you were just another Hudson County Democrat and a city boy. As far as I'm concerned, and most everybody else in Aldridge, you really do not represent Aldridge, whether you're elected or not. Aldridge is a community of character and humility. Many of us have spent many decades, others even a whole lifetime in this town, and we embrace our differences as well as our similarities. We stand together to help each other, be it shoveling out the snow in the local people's driveways, cleaning the parks and the roadways, and helping find a local pet, fix a fishing rod, which I've done several times, and even offering a space to local hunters. And by the way, I've done that too in my 6 acres. We are Aldridge, whether we are Democrat or Republican. We embrace our independent character in this town nestled in Middlesex County. We are not a cookie-cutter community, and you, Councilwoman Rizzoli, you cannot make it that. that said, let's get on with it. Mr. Rizzoli, you stated that I had been at council meetings to speak of the Gallo family. The only time I ever spoke to council about anything about animals was with regard to the rampant vehicular assault annually on the eastern box turtles population, which crosses Texas Road twice a year. By the way, many of the police officers will tell you they've seen it. It's really, really disgusting. I repeat, there's not a single time I ever spoke to the council regarding the gallows, the business they wanted to open, and more so, I have little time to focus on this business. Furthermore, none of the local township people who spoke openly about a puppy mill store being opened in Elbridge stated anything, if at all, about the Gallo family. As a matter of fact, nobody complained about the Gallo family. As a matter of fact, these people who did speak about the Gallo family were concerned that the Gallo family was actually being duped by the predatory puppy mill vendors. As far as all the people who spoke, all were residents of Old Bridge, all past or present residents of Old Bridge. Many volunteered for local dog and cat rescues. I had to check this, by the way. And the only singular person who came from the state, Mr. Brian Hackett, is a representative of the New Jersey State Humane Society. Now, you may be really getting your panties in a bunch about this, but Brian, as everybody knows in the council, grew up in Old Bridge and has since worked around the state for Republican
Ms.
candidates.
Jackiewicz, I'm sorry, your 5 minutes is up. There's no one left who's raised their hand for public comment at this time.
Yes. We'll close the public comment, and we'll go on to discussion. D1, resolution acknowledging discussion of best practice inventory and authorizing submission of public meeting certification. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Council President, thank you. In my administrative report, I reported that the township, basically information that the best practice inventory had 56 questions, and the minimum score needed was 16, and the max score you can get is 24. We did score 24. All the questionnaires included in our agenda packet, so I'm not going to go through all the detail of every questions. You can certainly review that, but I think that I do want to specifically thank the members of council for their support to administration, mayor obviously in leading us and allowing us to take the steps so that we can achieve this score. So obviously all of your efforts helpful, but I also want to recognize all our department heads for their extreme hard work in order to achieve this. There are some real good questions, in achieving, that is raised. Every year, state raised different questions, different arena, and we have continued to improve. Since they instituted the best practice, Township has never lost one penny of state aid that we are supposed to get. So again, I want to thank, they're all here, all the department head, Kyle, Nicole, Matt, Steve, Dawn. I know Rena left earlier in planning, but there's a number of questions related to planning and zoning also, and so I think that is a good day for the township to achieve the full score.
Yay. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. I agree with you. This is something very, very crucial and important to us. And in years gone by, we've always done well, but this year we really excelled. And I think that's because of the administrative team that's put in place, the mayor. And they're just a very strong team, and it shows. To get this kind of a score of 24 out of 24 is amazing. We really have, you guys have really stepped up, and it's critical because this is where, how our financial aid is structured. And without that, where would we be, especially now? So it shows, once again, the professionalism that's in this building. It is incredible. And I want to thank each and every one of you, all of you, for handling this in such a professional manner. You really do put our best foot forward here in Old Bridge, and I'm very proud to be part of this whole, administration and team. Thank you all so very much. Anyone else wish to comment? Mr. Piscitty.
Yeah, I too want to congratulate all the department heads and the administration for a job well done. This is really kudos to the town. I mean, this is really good work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? If not, then we will have to take a motion to do a resolution. Okay, moved by second by Mr. Piscitty. Okay.
Ms. Brown is absent. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Bellar? Yes. Mr. Merwin?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker? Yes. President Sohor?
Yes.
We have 8 ayes.
Okay, next will be council comments. Anyone, council member, want to make a comment? Mr. DePalma?
Yep, just real quick, just happy Halloween to all the kids, and again, good luck with going back to school.
Okay. Anyone else? Mr. Rizzoli?
Yeah, happy Halloween, everyone.
Anyone else? Mr. Murphy?
Yeah, I just want to say happy Halloween. I just hope the governor lets you trick or treat this year.
Okay. Anybody else have a comment? Mr. Merwin?
Everybody else stole my thunder. I was going to say happy Halloween. But,
Say
yeah,
trick or treat.
Old Bridge has not shut Halloween down. And we have no plans of shutting Halloween down, so we hope everybody gets out there and enjoys it very well. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Mrs. Walker?
Well, yeah, it's Fire Safety Month. I think a lot of the fire companies are not having their open houses this year, but just remember to change your smoke detector batteries.
Anyone else?
Well, once again, I just want to thank the administration and all the heads of the department for their professionalism and putting Old Bridge first. And I commend you for the job that you do. I wish everyone a healthy, happy, safe holiday. Enjoy Halloween and continue to be festive.
Okay, everyone's good? Okay, then I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Dr. Greenberg.
Roll call, right, okay. Mr. DePalma?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg Bellar? Yes. Mr. Merwin? Yes. Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Piscitty?
Yes.
Mr. Rizzoli?
Yes.
Ms. Walker? Yes. President Sohor?
Yes, thank you.
8 ayes.